Hey everybody, it's Kiwi, and surprise, it's my voice today over speedpaint. I know that's a little shocking and confusing probably for some of you, because I don't talk very often on my channel. And that's because of my crippling hatred of my voice, which I feel like everyone has. So today I figured, while we're watching this speedpaint that I drew of my character Kiwi, I could talk about how to price your artwork, because I get that question a lot, especially since I price my art relatively high. People always ask, how do you price your artwork so high? I can't price my artwork that high. I try just as hard as you do, you know, and so on and so on. And I feel like a lot of the reason that I personally can price my art so high is I have a lot of demand, and also I have a lot of guts just to kind of price my art based on how I feel like it's worth, because I'm not going to be spending my time drawing something for like 4 hours and make like $10 on it, because I personally won't do that. But there are a couple different ways you can price your artwork if you're like unsure how to price your art. You can either price your art based on the demand of how many people want your art, based on like kind of follower count, I guess. I know it's kind of like awful to base your art prices based on your follower count, because that's what people always get me on. They're like, you charge so much because you have a lot of followers, you pop your fur. And I mean, they're not wrong, because that means I have more demand for my art. So of course I'm gonna price based on my demand, because if more people want my art, I can charge more, so that way I'm not flooded with people that want my art, but I still get the people that want to pay a good amount for my art. Or you can charge based on your hourly rate, if you have like an hourly rate. This one's a little bit better for people who aren't quite sure how much they want to charge for their work. You can always start charging for your work at minimum wage. You can charge like, okay, this took me 3 hours, so $7.40 times 3. And then that'd be the price of the work that you're going to do, your completed piece. I personally follow the third option here for the most part, which is basing my price on what I think my art is worth. I am fortunate enough to have enough followers to be able to look at my art and go, I think that's worth $100, and then go, it's $100. Personally, while I think is a great idea, it does give me quite a bit of backlash on Instagram specifically, no other platforms. So I'm gonna go over like in more detail about each thing. If you base your prices on demand, it kind of has a lower price increase curve, because it'd be based more on how many followers you have. And if you're having a really hard time getting followers, it's going to be really hard for you to raise your prices. So if you go, okay, people buy my full body pieces at $15, and that's how much they pay for them at the current amount of followers I have, then you kind of have to just, unfortunately, charge $15 until you get more followers and you feel like you're getting a little swamped. Then you raise your price like $5, so then the full bodies are $20, and so on and so forth. And it does take quite a bit of time to raise your prices. I used to go about doing prices in this manner when I first started. On For Affinity, I would charge $1 for any like sketch. So full body, headshot, bust, they were all $1. I charged $1. I didn't charge extra for characters. It was all $1. Everything was $1. And after I think about 14 of those commissions, I realized, wow, a lot of people wanted sketches from me. I think I raised them to $5 after that. So like, that's kind of how you have to realize, like, this is the price I set this at, and if you get like, whoa, way too many people, you can raise the price. Also, on the other end, if like you price something and no one shows up, you either have to draw more for yourself, draw gift art and stuff to get more followers, or lower the price. Those are like the only options you'd have if no one came at the price point that you set, if you're doing prices based on demand. Another thing about prices based on demand, especially if you're working on Instagram, is you have to be aware of the age of your audience, because on Instagram specifically, I am followed by a lot of younger people. I feel like they personally feel like my prices are too high. And while I would take their suggestions into consideration, I also have other social media, and I don't have to worry about what they specifically think about my prices, because I have way more people wanting my art on like Twitter and For Affinity, so I don't really have to worry about, oh, the people on Instagram think my art's too expensive, because I mean, some of them there still would buy my art, so it doesn't bother me too much that quite a few 12-year-olds or so are upset about the pricing of my work. But you'd have to be really aware of the age of your following on your social media to kind of figure out which pricing is going to work the best, because, I mean, 12-year-olds don't have a job, and they're probably going to try to pay you in DeviantArt points, let's be real. So next thing is if you want to price your art based on an hourly rate, which would be like any other job. I mean, like, okay, this piece took me this long and it's gonna cost $15, and that might not get you people wanting your art. And with the other two options I have here, you might not get people that want your art at that price, and that's something you have to, like, if you want to stand firm on your pricing, if you want to make money on it, you have to just kind of keep drawing until you get people that want your art at that price. Get faster, you can charge a little bit less if you're doing it hourly. Like if you draw a whole bunch and your speed in drawing gets faster, you might be able to drop the price down, or you might be able to raise your hourly rate. It's up to you. But these last two options here are the ones that you have to be very firm in your belief as an artist to charge by an hourly or to charge what you think your art is worth in general. The hourly rate is a little bit easier to kind of be flexible with, I guess. I mean, you can just be like, all right, I guess people aren't buying it this, I'll just make a little bit less, maybe $6 an hour, less than minimum wage, but it'll do. I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of doing hourly rate because I personally just do the third option, which is just base your prices on what you think your art is worth. I feel like kind of bad because I do like 30-minute speed paints is something I do when I do art, and if some of you come to my streams, you've seen me do them. I feel bad because I charge $45 for them, and it takes me 30 minutes to do. So I'm getting over $1 a minute to do those speed paints, and sometimes I feel like, yes, they're worth more, but do I feel kind of bad for charging $45? Absolutely. And that's why my friends are like, these are worth like $50. You could probably charge $60 for these. And I'm like, I would love to, but my moral compass won't let me because I feel really bad for charging that much for something that takes me so little time. Now, like the kiwi piece that you're seeing in the background here, this took me 2 hours. It'll be at the end. I'll let you know. It took me 2 hours and 7 minutes, I believe. And I'd probably charge about $80 to $100 for a piece like this. To some people, that's going to be absurdly expensive, and I understand that. And that's where a lot of my Instagram people come in and are like, yeah, it's too expensive. Like, I have people interested in my art at that price, so that's why I would price it that way. Is because, oh, people want my art at that price. People said, hey, I wouldn't charge any less than this much because I asked. Like, yes, it doesn't take me that long, and that would mean that if I was following the hourly rate spectrum, it takes me 2 hours, $80, I'd get $40 an hour, which sounds crazy. That's why I don't like to go by the hourly rate, because if I said, oh, my art is $40 an hour, no one would commission me, because that sounds crazy. That sounds absolutely insane for at least the average consumer of art. For anyone else that's in the art industry or that knows more about the art industry, they would realize that no, that's not absurd. That's an actual valid price point for art, especially in the industry. In fact, it's probably less than average. And so that sounds crazy for some people, but for me, I'm like, I went to college, which, by the way, didn't really help much because my college was a piece of shit, but I've been doing art for 10 years or more, so I have like a lot of experience behind my pricing, and I have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very confident in my prices that I have. So pretty much what you gotta do here, if you need to price your art, I would say probably the easiest one to follow is just based on demand. It's kind of easy to gauge how much you need to charge based on how people want to buy your art. And that one, unfortunately, I feel like is the one where people undersell themselves most. That's why I don't like to really justify doing by demand, because I feel like people often will undersell themselves and won't get the money that they deserve for their work. And I really don't like seeing artists undercharge themselves. That's why when people tell me, oh, your art's so expensive, I can get a similar thing from this person for so much less, and their art's just as good or better than yours. And I'm like, well, if I'm charging this much, and if I'm successfully charging this much, and that person's art is as good or better than mine, you shouldn't tell me to lower my prices. You should tell them to raise their prices, because if their art's as good as my art is, they should be charging how much I am, because I have good business. I'm fine. I'm doing okay. They shouldn't be tearing me down because their artist friend charges less. They should be trying to make their artist friend more confident in their prices and telling them, hey, your art is amazing and you should charge more. Not, hey, other person over there, your art's good, but you charge too much, and my friend charges less than you, and people should just commission them instead of you. And I feel like I personally think based on what your art is worth, based on what you look at it and say, this is how much my art is worth, this is how much I'm going to charge, and not backing down on that price, but just keep drawing, you'll gain a following regardless, as long as you keep posting good content and keep up and being present on your social media. People will come. You'll get people to buy your art at whatever price point you have it at. As long as you're not trying to be ridiculous and like, oh, here's a headshot sketch for like $300. I think that might be a little unreasonable, but some people could probably do it. So I mean, it's up to like based on what you think. If you think that that sketch is worth $300, then by all means that sketch is worth $300. Like, and there might be people that'll buy it. It's just kind of how you market yourself and how you want your art to sell, I guess. If you want a lot of sales, a lot of art to do, but like real low income, then base it on demand. If you want kind of an average okay pricing and okay income, like, you know, like a little like less people probably would come for your art, do an hourly rate. And if you want to just kind of be flexible and you want to be like, okay, I think my art is worth this much, be firm. Don't flex because of what people are telling you online. If they say your art's too expensive, most of the time they're just upset that you can charge that much for your art and they can't charge that much for theirs. Overall pricing is just kind of what you want to do with it. I hope maybe, I don't know, maybe my suggestions are a little bit helpful, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not the best at giving advice. I'm not much of a teacher, to be honest. But I hope you enjoyed hearing my voice. Hi. If you guys want to hear me talk again about a different topic, feel free to leave one in the comments below, or if you have like a video idea or something, throw it down there, because I'm going to try to do more like challenge type videos. I'd love to do more animation memes. They do take me a while, so for those of you that have been waiting for another animation meme, there is one coming. I just haven't had time to work on it, but I do have one in the works. If you have like a meme that you love so much and you want to see me do that meme, let me know, because I'm kind of going my own way and I'm kind of making memes and not like following memes, I guess. I'm like doing my own animation things. And instead of going out and being like, oh, I like that animation meme and doing that one, I'm kind of doing my own. So if you have an animation meme that you're like, wow, I think that'd look really cute in Kiwi style, let me know, I'll draw it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye!